If you are anything like me and you enjoy not being poor, but you have been cursed with the fate of being an artist, listen up. There are rich artists in the world, very wealthy artists making $200,000 per month. And do you know how they're doing it? Not by selling $500 paintings on their website, not by selling prints on Etsy. Now, it is easier than it has ever been before to make money with your art. But in my opinion, you can either choose to do it the easy way or the difficult way. Now hear me out. Even if you are in love with the process of doing everything involved with taking the difficult route, you love all the monotonous tasks, let me just remind you that once you reach financial freedom and security, you can do whatever the heck you want. You can continue to sell $500 paintings on your website every day for the rest of your life. But do you know what you could also do? You could also not ever sell another $500 painting again, and you would be fine. So don't see it as the end-all be-all that you can't do these things anymore. Think about it that your goal should be, I want to do these things when I no longer need to make money off of my art. So let's first address the difficult path. Now, there are multiple avenues that you could take that I would say all go on the difficult path, but there's usually just some common universal themes, some common denominators that all of these avenues have. The first common theme is that your prosperity, your success is all dependent on the average person spending their hard-earned money. Your success is directly tied to consumer spending. The consumer stops spending, you stop being successful. The second main thing in common that all of these avenues have is that there is a limit, a finite amount, a ceiling to what you can earn. You are here, the ceiling is here, you can work your butt off to hit that ceiling, but you will never go above it. The third common denominator is that in all of these avenues, you are trading your time for money. So let's dive right into them, okay? Number one, selling your original art or your prints, just selling your artwork online. Now, very few artists become famous and successful enough to actually sell their paintings for thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's a very difficult path to get there because there is no blueprint. There are no steps you can take to reach it. You don't know if you ever will. And there's a lot of luck involved. A lot of it's about who you know, what you look like, what social class you were born into, being in the right place at the right time, in the right room with the right people. Now, I wouldn't argue that you should not strive to be a famous artist and to have your work in galleries and to be the next Banksy. I'm just saying that selling your artwork to make a living for 99% of artists is the slowest and most difficult way to make a living. Let's say that you can sell 10 original paintings every single month, and if you're an average artist, maybe you're selling them for a couple $100, $1,000, but then you have to spend all of that time varnishing, prepping, packaging, shipping the paintings. You have to buy new supplies to start the next painting. Not to mention, then you have to create the next painting. You have to find the next sale, find the next customer. You're constantly advertising. The revenue does not come on its own. All right, number two is similar but a little different, and it is selling your artwork in person at a craft fair or Saturday market or a indoor holiday show. Again, unless you are one of the very few, very well-known individuals who could sell their paintings for thousands of dollars, you are very limited on the amount of money that you can make at these events. Because thinking logically, factually, there is a finite limit of people that can be in the building. There's a maximum occupancy, but also there's a limit of the people who are gonna know about the show, gonna go to the show. It's gonna be limited to people who live in the area. There's a finite amount of eyes that are even gonna see your artwork, and then you're hoping that all of the eyes that see it are then going to choose to spend their money on it. And let's say that every single person that walked by your booth did buy a print. Then you did meet the ceiling, but again, you can never pass the ceiling. I have done dozens and dozens and dozens of these shows, and I have figured out what my ceiling is. I have never passed a certain amount, no matter how much I can do to make my booth even better, make my art even better, to package it even better, to advertise to more people, to gain 500,000 followers and tell them to come. I have figured out what the ceiling is at those events. And I'm not saying that you cannot make good money at these events, but you're not gonna be a millionaire by doing this. And don't act like you don't want to be a millionaire because you clicked on this video, okay? And there is nothing wrong with wanting to accumulate wealth. There's nothing wrong with never wanting to worry about a bill again. If you grew up like me without a lot of money in a scarcity mindset, then you have to kind of get all of these negative connotations you have in your mind out about wealth and money. Money is not evil. People who accumulate money, most of them, are not evil. And besides, who's going to do good in the world if all of the evil people accumulate all of the money? Okay, end rant. All right, and then number 3, the third avenue in what I would consider the difficult route to becoming a rich artist, custom paintings. This one gets me fired up. I gotta put my hair up. There is only one of you. What's the fastest you've ever completed a painting? Is it 2 days? Let's say it is 2 days, and you can do 15 custom paintings a month. Do you even like doing custom paintings? I'm genuinely curious about this. If you really enjoy custom orders, will you just comment below? Because I want to find out what medications you're on and ask my doctor. I'm just kidding. I just have never met an artist. Truly, I don't think I've ever met an artist who really enjoys custom work. I personally do not, and it's not because I don't like your family photo. I love your family photo, and it's just that it's so stressful. There's so much pressure because you're gonna know if I did a bad job. You're gonna know if that nostril is slightly off, and I won't because I'm going off of a photograph, and I've never met your grandma, but you have. Okay. If you could do 15 custom paintings a month, think about the time it would take you to varnish them, package them, get them shipped out, get the tracking numbers, put into the email. Okay, I know all of this stuff is kind of fun. It's a rite of passage when you first start your art business. I was so excited to go to the post office and ship my first order, and now I hate the post office. It is the bane of my existence. So you do 15 custom orders a month, the most you could possibly do. 15, and then you're capped. You could always try to raise your prices, but you're always gonna have a cap. You're never gonna be a millionaire doing custom paintings unless you're doing 2 a month and you're charging 40 grand per painting. And if you're doing that, then you're probably not even watching this video. I look like a founding father, I gotta take that out. Now, there are a few methods of making money as an artist that I think would fall somewhere in the middle between the easy and the difficult path to getting rich, because you can make a good living doing some of these things, but again, it's not gonna make you rich. Number 1 is murals. Now, with murals, you are definitely still trading your time for money, but the time is just a lot more valuable. Your main clientele when doing murals are usually business owners. It's not your average person, although business owners are people, but the budget is much higher than someone would be paying for a custom portrait to give their friend. You can make anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, maybe more, off of a mural project based on how big it is, how long it's gonna take you. I've been tipped $2,000 before on a mural, which I think is awesome. I myself paint quickly, so I can finish a mural in 1 to 2 days and make a couple $1,000s. It's pretty nice, but again, this isn't going to make you rich. All right, income source number 2 that I think falls somewhere here in the middle is paint and sips, okay? To really make money with paint and sips, you have to have a large group size. So if you are doing staff events for corporations or you're doing a big bachelorette party, that is gonna be where the money is at. If you're charging $60 per person and you have 25 people signed up, then you can make $1,500 in 2 hours. That doesn't count your setup and your prep time. But again, this is a nice way to make money. It's not gonna get you that Range Rover though, so we're gonna keep going. So this brings us to the easy category, and when I say easy, I don't mean that these are going to be really easy to accomplish. I mean that your time and effort goes so much further when doing these things. And there are a few universal themes and common denominators that all of these have in common. Number 1, there is no ceiling. There is no finite limit on how much you can make. As Katie Heron would say, the limit does not exist. Secondly, these income streams offer you passive income, meaning that you are making money while you're sleeping. You know who makes money while they sleep? Rich people. Meaning you no longer need to trade your time for money. You don't have to wake up and go to work. All right, so starting with number 1, online courses and or webinars of some kind, but before you get all confused with me and you wonder how this applies to artists, hear me out. You're going to sell the shovel. Selling the shovel is a term that's usually used in business, and it illustrates the idea of capitalizing off of a rush that happens during like a gold rush. It originates from the story from the gold rush, I think from the book Think and Go Rich. It's been a while since I read it, but there was this man who tried to dig for gold during the gold rush and he was unsuccessful. So after a little bit of trying, he realized he would be much better off, rather than himself digging for gold, selling shovels to everyone else and telling them that they could strike gold. He realized that his odds of success were so much higher selling the dream and selling the tools necessary to everyone else than it would have been for him to strike gold himself. So think about this. As an intermediate artist, you may be more likely to be financially successful teaching beginner artists how to start than you would be going on to try to pursue a full-time career selling your artwork. Are you following me? The odds are that you have some kind of skill or knowledge or life experience that the average person does not. And you don't need to be an expert in your field, you just need to know more than a beginner, more than the average person. This is a brilliant way to provide value to others and make money off of your knowledge. Maybe you're really great at doing watercolors, and maybe you could make videos about watercolors so that other artists who only paint in oils can learn watercolors and vice versa. And it may be more profitable for you to teach other artists how to paint with watercolors than it would be to try to sell your watercolors full time. All right, number 2, and I know you might be sick of me talking about this by now if you've watched my videos before, but it is starting a YouTube channel, an art YouTube channel. And before you think that you don't have anything to make a video about, I have a list of ideas that I made for you. But let me explain to you why starting a YouTube channel can be so valuable and make you rich. I'm not even joking. You can be a multi-millionaire on YouTube, and thousands of creators are doing it right now by making a video just like this. The first way that YouTube will make you rich is ad revenue. And this is what most people think of when they hear about making money on YouTube. It's the amount that advertisers like Ford, Hershey's, coffee places, I don't know, anyone that puts an advertisement on a YouTube video, they are paying per view. They're paying you per 1,000 views. And different creators have different RPM, CPM is what an advertiser is going to pay for 1,000 views on your channel, depending on the niche you're in, depending on how long viewers usually stay in your videos. Some creators are considered to be much more valuable. The second reason why YouTube is going to be so profitable for you is something called evergreen content. YouTube's algorithm works differently than other platforms on social media. For say for example, Instagram. If you make a video or a picture or you post your artwork on Instagram, 6 months later, it's not going to pop up in anyone's nude feed. Well, I don't want to know who you follow. News feed ever again. YouTube is different. If you make a video that performs well and it is relevant, always, you are going to make money off of that video forever and ever and ever and ever. Third reason why YouTube is so profitable, brand deals, but I'm talking about huge brand deals. $20,000, $50,000, $80,000 brand deals for a 10-minute video where you are holding a product, showcasing a product that you genuinely like and support. Who wouldn't want to get paid an extra 50 grand? A side note that I think is so cool is there's no cost to creating a YouTube video. Unless you're investing in new camera equipment or a microphone, you can make videos on your iPhone. You could edit on your iPhone. You can do everything on your phone and never spend a penny and generate a multi-million-dollar business off of your phone. Meaning, you don't have to pay for paints. You don't have to pay for a website. You don't have to pay for the canvas. It's literally 100% profit. And you're creating money out of nothing. You're capturing something with your camera that's not tangible, and then it turns into money. I think that's fascinating. And top YouTubers are making millions of dollars per month. And I just got my channel monetized. So if you need to hear it from somebody who makes it seem really attainable and realistic, take it from me. I grew up in a town with a high school where kids rode tractors to school. I'm not rich. I'm not a model. Oh, stop. I started out really shy on the camera. I was a teen mom. I don't know, like every odd is against me, and yet I did it, and I want you to do it. I just want to see other artists not starve. All right, to finish out this video, if you're like, that all sounds great, my creative gears are turning, but I'm really struggling to think of an idea for a YouTube video that I could make. Here's a list of ideas I came up with for you. Number 1, you could do a studio tour, workspace tour. Show where you create. Artists eat that up. Number 2, post a time lapse of you creating, you painting. You don't even have to talk. Number 3, do a story time that's art related. Like, for example, I want to do a video about the time I got tipped $2,000. I think that would be fun. Number 4, you could do a simple art tutorial, like here's how to paint this easy sunset in acrylic paints. Number 5, you could do a random story time of just some random story while you're creating. Tell it while you're painting, or you could do a voiceover. Number 6, you could do an art reveal video, like here is the reveal of the painting I've been working on for the last year. Number 7, you could do a day in the life of a full-time artist. You could do art advice for beginners, like here's how to start pricing your work. Number 9, you could show your art progress over the years. You could literally do a slideshow, 10 years of my art. Number 10, you could do a art market or craft fair vlog. Number 11, you could show your favorite art supplies. 12, you could do a video about your favorite artists. 13, you could do some kind of an art challenge like painting for 10 hours straight. 14, you could do a about me video about the artist. Number 15, you could compare different art supplies, compare different brands. Number 16, you could create the same artwork twice in different mediums and compare them. Number 17, you could do some kind of a community painting project. Like I got invited to the World Athletic Championship to do a community painting where everyone walking by added to the canvas. Number 18, you could do some kind of a scavenger hunt with your art. Number 19, you could do a my inspiration as an artist or like why I create. And number 20, you could do a video about art history. Do a video about why Van Gogh cut his ear off. It doesn't have to be about your art. It could just be art in general. The key to being profitable on YouTube is how long you can keep the viewer in your video. So the longer you can make the content and the longer you keep them engaged, the higher your RPM and the more you will get paid. I hope you liked this video, and ultimately you can choose to make money with your art any way that you want. There is no right or wrong way to make money with art. I just want to see you succeed and make what you deserve to make. Choose the path that fulfills you, but remember, if money didn't matter, your art would probably be better. All right, have a good day, guys, and go get creative.